Glad to have you back. And now let's look at the topic of discussion for today. Before independence, Nigeria, along with some West African countries, had one national carriers, the West Africa Airways Corporation, WAAC, which started in 1946 and went under in 1958 when the Nigeria Airways Limited was established. The deregulation of the airline subsector by the federal government in 1988 gave vent to privately owned commercial airlines which competed with Nigeria Airways till 2004 when the latter was liquidated. While there is a high record of airport infrastructure, especially in the 1970s and the 1980s, many industry experts argue that Nigeria has continued to witness retrogression in the area of airport facilities. Now, as we count down to Nigeria's 62nd independence anniversary, we would be assessing Nigeria's aviation sector since independence. Dr. Dayo Kayode joins us via the phone, and he's an aviation safety expert. Dr. Dayo, thank you so much. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. Now
I love the way you started the conversation as regards WAAC.
Yes. Right. Okay. You've already started. You just go on. Let's assess the aviation sector since independence and now 62 years counting. Others we started with that they are far progressed, and Nigeria seems to be not getting it right when it comes to the aviation sector. As an aviation safety expert, what would you say the problems are?
Yeah, you see, the development even started as far back as 1925. When we have this Royal Air Force coming to Nigeria, to Kano, when there was a riot there. And since then, we have been recording series of aviation activities in Nigeria. Even there was another businessman that always run from Kano to Lagos then, through using the rail lines, to get to Lagos. But having said that, aviation industry in Nigeria had always been back and forth. I can take you as far as the fourth National Development Plan, which foresaw the essence of developing aviation transport immediately after colonialism, when we had our independence. And from there, we started. Some airports like that of Lagos, that of Kano, that of Port Harcourt, were given adequate attention to come up, develop that of Lagos to international level, then that of Kano to serve as an alternative, then another airstrip in Port Harcourt. By second National Development Plan, about 19 airports were to be developed, and even money allocated to it. Yeah, third National Development Plan and all that. Then we started talking about even looking at some regulations. Okay? Then from there, we started having some policies, aviation policy, like the one that created then Nigerian Airport Authority, the one that created the NCAA, Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, and then another one came on that, let us even cancel NCAA and all other functions transfer to NAA. But this policy then negates the dictates of ICAO and other international regulations, whereby there must be a kind of a separation between the aviation service providers and aviation regulators. All right? Okay. Aviation service providers and aviation regulators. Now, if all these things were being put in one particular hand, there's going to be abuse.
Yes.
And then there, we now find out that the whole airport in Nigeria are being littered with broken down, unserviceable aircraft. The safety became problem. Safety became problem. Then, now came another regulation, I think in 1995, that now created Nigeria Civil Aviation Authority, because as far as Annex 14 of ICAO says, I mean, there should be a kind of a functional separation between these two areas. So that's in 1995. Another policy now came up whereby he created NCAE out of the Directorate of Safety Regulation and Monitoring. Do you understand?
Okay.
Then there was also creation of NAMA, Nigerian Airspace Management Authority. Okay. Then that now allow the NA, whose name was now changed to Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, to become more focused. And along the line, so many other reforms were coming up to ensure that safety is ensured in our airports. But presently, it's so unfortunate that most of the money that have been allocated to improve the aviation safety, activities of aviation in our nation have not been fully utilized the way it's supposed to be utilized. I think the meaning of that, can further be expatiated. But the issue is this. Nigeria itself is being faced with a lot of problems, systemic breakdown, and of which aviation is not excluded. We are all aware of what happened of recent as regards aviation fuel prices. Whereby it now increased the operating cost of the airlines. And what happens? There's bound for them to be cutting corners, because businesses are being there to make profit. They are not social services. So for them to make profit, they be cutting corners. And when they are cutting corners, safety will be impaired. And when safety is being impaired, what does that portend? So this is the point at which Nigerian aviation industry is.
Okay. For all of these background information you've given us, what would you give as reasons for the death of Nigerian Airways as of 2004? Yes, we know quite well that when the regulation came to the sector, you had other private, players in the game as well. But what explanations can you give for the death of the Nigerian Airways?
Yeah, let me give you this story that happened between me and somebody about not up to a week now.
Okay.
Whose father was then working with Nigerian Airways. The father is from I think Ondo State. We just discussed, and we now got to that. He just mentioned something about aviation industry. I said, "Oh boy, so you have a little bit of information." He said, "Yes, that the father was there, and the father had to resign." I said, "Why?" At that time, I said, "Why?" He said, "Because the father was among the top engineers in Nigerian Airways. They were sent abroad to go and study, and when they came back, some of his guys will now say, 'Oh boy, this aircraft, we have to remove this, we have to remove that, so that we now collect money that we need to be repaid, this and that.'"
Okay.
I think you understand.
Yes.
And people of those days, especially from Ondo State, Ekiti area, they don't like that kind of a thing. If along the line, the father just resigned because he cannot cope with what he's saying. All right, leave that alone. Look at Nigerian Airways. Along the line, I could remember vividly then. We put inside the aircraft. The aircraft that country, even sometimes 130. Why? Because they are waiting for one VIP.
Mm-hmm.
A VIP that is not even paying, that is on credit. You know, that government officials, they will be flying Nigerian Airways on credit. And that credit will not be paid back.
Okay.
Then how will they now get money
to
maintain those aircraft?
Yeah,
meanwhile, some people too there are trying to destroy it.
Okay.
And that is why you find out that some people who had worked in Nigerian Airways were now owners of airlines. And at the end of the day, those airlines still went bankrupt. Go and Google air transport development in Nigeria. And then owners of airlines in Nigeria.
Okay.
Go and check out those names. Then check out where they have worked before. Whether they have worked in Nigerian Airways or not. And then check out the name of their own airline. And then what befell that airline at the end of the day. It was nothing other than corruption that killed our airline. I could remember vividly. I think in 1999, 97, 98, 99.
Yes.
Nigeria was having Boeing 747 in this country. I think about 2.
Mm-hmm.
One was sold to Okada Airlines. I think another one was sold to Cabo Airlines. Who are those people? Why were those aircraft sold? Do you understand?
Yes.
Look at something.
Yes.
Sometimes when I'm on my own and I'm reflecting on this country, I weep. Nigeria was having a hangar whereby even France, they bring their aircraft to our own hangar to come and do their sea check. No talk of Ethiopia Airlines. No talk of South African Airways. Of reason I was just reading that Ethiopia Airlines is now to buy, I think about 48%.
Yes.
Of the new airline that Nigeria is about to float. I said, my God. Ethiopia buying 48%. Do you know what that means?
Yes.
Do you know what that means? And then another 41% to be bought by consortium of I think MRS,
Mm-hmm.
SACO, and another company I can't really remember now. These things, they are appalling.
All right,
this is
okay.
the same airline that Ishiri Sirika went to UK to go and launch.
Yes, to launch.
To go and launch. Nigerian Airways, you went to launch it in UK. Is that not absurd?
Well, you preempted my next question.
So these are issues that have been affecting our industry.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, we now have that of professionals. Those that understand the nitty-gritty of the business, they have left.
Okay.
Look at what happened to Abaigbe. Go and Google Abaigbe. You're going to see how hard it fought for the aviation industry in Nigeria to be on these streets. Go also Google Captain Ore and find out what later happened to him.
Okay, let me come in here, please. Let me come in here, please. I'm sorry to butt in. Let me come in here. You preempted my next question when you delved into the issue of Nigerian Airways. I mean, the issue, will you call it the resuscitation, as it were? Having addressed issues that, brought about the death of Nigerian Airways way back as of 2004, the attempt to bring it back on board now, you talked about, Civica going all the way to United Kingdom to launch and all of that. With the structure we have on ground now, do you think Nigerian Airways can fly again? And when I mean fly again, I mean get to those lofty heights of the 90s and probably 80s?
I will first of all do Yoruba adage, which says ilé tí a bá ti fi tọ́mọ èrè ló máa wò.
Okay.
Tabafi Itomo Irilumawu. That is any building built on fake foundation, ordinary dew, DEW, we collapse it. Because you see, this structure that Edith Eureka is trying to come up with is made with, it's fraught with fraud.
Okay.
Fraught with fraud.
What do you mean fraud? What do you mean exactly?
Because this is an airline that you have never gotten a call sign, you have never gotten an office address,
yes.
you have never gotten how do I put it now? Your website, you have never gotten your management staff, you have never gotten shareholders, and you went to UK to spend such an enormous amount of money. You get? And then when people like us started talking about it, we started telling us series of lies. They're running around here and there. How are you so sure? That even Ethiopian Airlines that I say is now buying
48%,
about 40 whatever percent. It's not that you went there to just use that name to cover up. You see, there is a lot of fraud in this country for now.
Okay.
And to that extent, for anything to work, even the grace of God will not, even the grace of God is not even enough for anything to work. Because that fraud is too enormous. Too enormous.
Okay.
Listen. There was a time this country were having over 28 aircraft.
Yes.
Going all over the world. And we Nigerians, we sold this thing off and we crashed it. Look at Nigeria National Shipping Line. The same thing. Nigeria National Shipping Line at that time was having nothing less than 19 ocean liners. I did my master's degree dissertation on Nigeria National Shipping Line. So I can talk authoritatively on it. All those airlines sold up. About 2 months ago, I was at Apapa. And I said, let me even pass through that building, that edifice, that beautiful building that any young man will want to appreciate at that time. Fancy.
Yes.
Go to Apapa and go and see what is happening to that building. It's now being habited by rodents and nothing more.
Okay, Dr. Dayo.
Who was this sold for? I mean, how much was that building sold? Go and find out.
Dr. Dayo, now.
Go and check that property. Where our hangar. Go and find out who bought that hangar. Go and find out who bought that hangar. How much? What are we using that hangar for now? So go and find out. Those things are there.
Okay, Dr. Dayo, now reacting
to go and find out.
Dr. Dayo, now coming back to the aviation sector, reacting to the story that has made waves all over the newspapers today, talking about the retrieved airline from Germany belonging to River State acquired by the Peter Odili administration that went missing or disappeared during the Rotimi Chibike and Mechi administration and retrieved by the Wike administration. I want to get your reaction to that because it still talks about the corruption and the Nigerian aviation sector that has been reduced to its barest minimum and not working anymore. So let me get your reaction to that, please.
Yes, you see, when I read that story online yesterday, I just smiled. I said, this is good. You know why? Because you will say, you know, when you run on top of a rock, you cannot see footsteps, so you know. But when those that know each other are on that place, they can easily know the footsteps. Rotimi Amechi and my brother Wiki, they have been friends before now. They belong to the same party. They were together before now. One was the chairman of local government, the other one was in House of Assembly or thereabouts. There were 3 of them that were working together. And the predecessor of what Inamechi was the one that acquired that aircraft for Rivers State. But I don't know why Inamechi decided to go and keep it somewhere. And according to Wiki, he said he did not even hand over that aircraft to him. So that means somebody who had worked with Rotimi Amechi, who knows the history of that aircraft, must have given Wiki information about it. Let's see you. We own this aircraft, or somebody has decided to go and keep it somewhere. We don't know why he's keeping it there, or maybe they will be using that aircraft as commercial aircraft abroad, and then the money being remitted to somebody's account. Who knows? But he decided to say, okay, this thing must be retrieved. I'm bringing it back to Nigeria. So that means Wike had decided to bring back the property of Rivers State back to Rivers State. So, for me. But I think investigation should be done. Whether that aircraft has been used as commercial aircraft before bringing it down. Then if yes, who has been receiving the money on that particular aircraft? Then why is that person doing so? Why is the money not coming straight to Rivers State? So investigation should still be done on that.
All right, I just needed to get your reaction to that. Now let's go back to assessing Nigeria's aviation sector since the independence up to date. You mentioned all of the things that had happened, the Nigeria Airways having to be shut down in 2004 and giving us back history of what has happened. But what do you think can be a means of solution? Because we are 62 years in few days, and then we need to catch up. We need to be the giant of Africa, as our name implies, and not just a figurehead standing there. So how do you think all of those things can be rejigged just to make the aviation sector work again?
Yeah. You see, for me, I like being conceptual.
Okay.
When we are giving solutions. Now, there was a time I said, not until when we get a kind of an amelioration to our national grid. National grid in terms of GREED. Then our national grid in terms of GRID will keep on collapsing. Are you with me? We keep on collapsing. Because our national grid is not allowing our national grid to work. So, to get a solution to the problem that is bedeviling us in this country, I also come up with my friend's concept, which is the concept of just enough. Just enough has been postulated by that nationalist, Mahatma Gandhi. Just enough. That is, when you want to eat to the level that, okay, I am no more hungry. Then you leave the rest. That is the meaning of just enough. So if only people can see the reason in not taking more than what you need, in not taking more than what you need, then there will be enough left for our development. But the moment everybody is out to satisfy his or her greed, then our greed will never work. Our problems will never have solutions. So let us see how we can adapt to that concept of just enough. Then you see that most of the problems that are in this country will go down, and our aviation industry will develop.
Okay, talking about the aviation industry getting a boost of life. Let's look at the facilities. The state of facilities over the years have raised several concerns. Not just among stakeholders but the general populace, talking about Nigerian citizens. And the concern is our facilities, our airports are not up to standard. I'm not even talking about the fleets now, talking about aircraft. I'm also talking about the facilities in our various airports. What do you make of this, and how do you think we can improve on these facilities to ensure that we meet up to international standard in the 21st century?
I will give you an example.
Okay.
There is one particular equipment known as TRACON. TRACON.
Okay.
Total radar. Total radar control. That is TRACON. That radar control will be able to see, to give you the satellite imageries, okay, of the airports.
Okay.
It assists both the how do I put it now, the control tower.
Mm-hmm.
Those the control tower, and then the pilots to have safety flights within the air,
okay,
within the Nigerian airspace. Okay? When that thing was to be installed in 2010 or so, yeah, I think 2010, could you believe that without finishing the installation,
mm-hmm,
somebody decided on his own to come and commission it?
Okay.
After commissioning, not quite 2 weeks, it started collapsing. That is to say, the contractor had brought in a substandard material.
Okay.
I just have to give you that example because that is exactly what has been happening to most of the equipment. Is it the wrong way? Are we talking about the wrong way equipment?
Exactly.
Are we talking about the wrong way equipment? Or are we talking about the one that is being used by the meteorological department? Or the one that is being used by the control tower? No, which one? Which one are we having that are not substandard? Have we even the way our runways are being tagged? Which one do we want to talk about? Or even the personnel being brought in based on the people you know. Based on people you know. So which one do we want to talk about? Can't we?
Yeah.
Like I said, not until when we try to adopt and adapt that concept of just enough. What we are seeing is what we see. I have some pictures with me, whereby at that time, when you see that bed,
yes,
called Nigerian Airways. In fact, I mean, it's a that one for me, please. Your head will be swollen.
Yep.
You'll be happy. That pride will be in you. That yes, I'm in Nigeria. When they're in that their white and green uniform. New York, how much was New York then? 2000, was it 210 naira or something like that? Yeah, 210 naira.
Okay.
But look at where we are today. To the extent that even airliner are threatening to leave our country.
Yes.
You know what that means? All airliners decide not to fly Nigeria. You know what that means? That means we are cut off from the international world.
Quickly, let's get your thoughts on that. Not just in terms of the threats of pulling out, but how did we find ourselves in such a situation? I understand quite well that the parallel market is saturated, but we're talking about forex, crisis. But how can we also avoid such going forward? Because the federal government hasn't paid fully the $430 million thereabouts. They paid only about $268 million. So how can they address this concern?
Between you and me,
Yep.
this concern has not been given, not even a palliative.
Okay.
It's just a mere cover up. It's what we are doing.
Okay.
Robbing Paul to pay Peter. Okay? Because how will you ask these airliners
Yes.
not to take their money out of the system? You cannot be using their money to build your own economy.
Mm-hmm.
Or pushing your own economy. Because they are doing business to make profits. It's not them that said you shouldn't be able to manage your airlines. If to say Nigerian Airways have been working, by now Nigeria will be having nothing less than 80 airlines. I mean 80 aircraft. 80. Because then British Airways will come to Nigeria. Nigerian Airways soon will go to London. Okay? We go to New York, Brussels, everywhere. You see Nigerian Airways everywhere. But where are we today? And since we have decided to eat our seed,
Okay.
to eat our seed, and then we are not harvesting. Those people that are harvesting, and then they are selling to us, we are saying they should not take their money. You have to allow them to take their money, and then look for other ways to push your own economy. You can't be using their own money to push your own economy.
Okay.
So, like I said, this problem will still persist until we adopt and adapt that concept of just enough.
Okay.
It is not we adapt that concept of just enough that we will not be borrowing money to steal. It's only when we adapt that concept of just enough that we have the resources
Okay.
to build our own economy
Okay.
in terms of our own airline, in terms of our own industries, in terms of our exports. Then we now have enough foreign exchange to
Okay.
develop our own economy rather than retaining some people's money here. No, it's never done. It is never done. Let them go to dictates and international practices
Yeah.
of ICAO and IATA. Both ICAO and IATA. Then they be able to know what they're supposed to do. All this what we are doing, we are just trying to cover up.
All right.
And to what extent, for how long can we cover up? For how long can we cover up?
Okay.
In Yoruba, they will say, ẹni tó gbẹ ẹgbẹ̀rún èpè. Ẹni tó gbẹ ẹgbẹ̀rún èpè nírọ́ pẹ̀lú irọ́. A tún yọ ẹgbẹ̀rún èpè nírọ́ náà now. That is, if you lie about 200 seedlings, then you will also reap 200 fake 200 seedlings.
Okay.
I mean, that is exactly what is happening to us. We have sown wheat. You have to reap well wheat. There's no thing saying there. No hiding from that fact. Whoever sow wheat will definitely harvest well wheat. And that is where we are today in this country.
Okay. In wrapping up this conversation, what are the policies you would expect from the new administration that will take place next year, talking about the Nigerian elections, when it concerns the aviation sector? What are those policies you expect the new administration to come up with?
Well, if only we are not going to have another deceitful,
Okay.
another deceitful administration in place. If only we are not also going to have another administration that will not listen to the yearnings and expectations of the people.
Okay.
If also we are not going to have an administration that will say something during his campaign, but when he gets there, we say, no, I have not said this. Then I will say that coming in must look into the books. There are a lot of researches that have been done. There are a lot of postulations that have been made. There are a lot of workshops, seminars, conferences, reports that have been written. Let them go to those books and then come up with their own idea on how to resuscitate not only Nigerian Airways, but the aviation sector as a whole, and couple that one with revitalization of the economy.
Okay.
Because there is no economy that you can drive without the transport sector, which aviation industry belongs.
All right.
Okay.
The moment you know that, the moment you can do that, then I can assure you something. With that adaptation and adoption of that just enough concept, Nigeria will move on.
Okay, that's a fine place to leave it. Thank you so much for your time on the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you very much. That was Dr. Kayode, an aviation safety expert, speaking to us about the aviation sector in Nigeria and how to improve on it. We'll go on a break now. When we return, we'll delve into more conversations. Please to stay with us.